Welcome to Clash of Health. Thanks for being here today. I'm going to get into the Akashic records in a moment. I just wanted to say that this message was particularly inspirational and hopeful, whereas many of the messages in the past have been more doom and gloom and apocalyptic. This does not take away from any of the previous messages. As a matter of fact, it says that all that really has been presented before is accurate, but that we have choices that we can make in terms of what direction we go in, and that one direction will bring us to salvation and freedom and sovereignty, and the other direction will take us into further enslavement and misery. So they gave the symbolism of what I think is a train, and that the train can go one of two ways. So welcome to Clash of Health. If you're new here, thanks for coming. If you've come before, thanks for coming back. Here is the message for today, October 24th, 2024. I started with a connection. So today's message, I connected with God directly, or God, I should say God connected with me directly. And I was asking about the message I got yesterday. So yesterday's message was to take the Council of Light, and instead of me going to the Council of Light, I need to bring the Council of Light to Earth. And I need to start a community of people who want to knit together and to interlock arms, the arms race, so to speak, in a positive way for the new future. And that, that the North Star, Polaris, would be a guiding force of hope and inspiration. They just said that the North Star would be the guide, and I'm putting in the words hope and inspiration because that's what I looked up and found out the spiritual meaning of the North Star. I knew it had biblical significance around the time of Jesus's birth. The wise men were apparently led to Jesus via the North Star. So this star, Polaris, in Ursa Minor, stratosphere constellation, is considered, according to the internet, and this does ring true with me or for me, it is considered a hope in the face of uncertain times. I studied galactic astrology under Julia Velez. I've mentioned her before, and have definitely done a deep dive into some of Elena Danan's work, who works with the extraterrestrial, extra-terra stratospheres and aliens, and a woman named Debbie Solaris. I took a course with her, which was really interesting. It was on what different type of alien groups, how they see medicine and health and food, and how information about their sicknesses and stuff like that. Maybe someday I'll do some kind of webinar on what I learned in her group, and just kind of share the information from different sources of people that I've learned from. But anyway, Elena Danaan wrote this book, A Gift from the Stars, and she talks about Ursa Minor, which is the constellation of Polaris, being pretty high vibe, and that they're very, the beings that are on this constellation are very leery of us, and they think that we're violent and unintelligent. So I thought I would just add that too. All right, let's see. Better days are coming. Count on it. Find time to cultivate peace in your heart. A lot about the heart. Yesterday's message was about selenite, which is a crystal that they told me to bring into the heart. And when I start the council work, this will be our guiding stone. So the guiding stone is going to be selenite, and the guiding universe beyond ours, or constellation beyond ours, not universe, is going to be spearheaded by Polaris. Jesus hands me a flower. Beware of those who trespass against you, as they mean you no good. Okay. The gates of heaven will open soon. Instill faith in your fellow man. I see the hills, the mountains on earth, the blue zone. I see someone with a blue face. I am from there zipped up into the God realm, to the point where I'm zipped up so quickly, I'm actually afraid of heights, for real. And I was afraid when I was being zipped up, because I felt like I was literally going up, up, up. He had me sitting, he gives me a scroll, he tells me to put it to my heart. So God gives me the scroll and he goes, put it into your heart. Through the heart, I will unravel its message, I'm told. I'm quickly zipped back down. Don't parley with fools, find those with serious intentions. So this group of council members on the earth that I'm supposed to help steerhead, this group of people, needs to be those who are of serious intention, I'm told. I see bearded men in forested areas, and like a diamond or crystal. I see fairies from lands forgotten, far away, and they feel like they are also from below the earth. Watch guards, I'm told, that they're watch guards liberating fauna. I wrote a lot of automatic writing in 2021, as I mentioned in yesterday's video. I started the artist way, early in 2021. And it morphed into automatic writing very quickly. And then by the end of the year, it became automatic writing with messages about the apocalypse, basically. And I thought that that was going to occur in 2021, and it didn't. In 2022, 2023, it didn't occur. The very specific date that I had appointed message, especially for Asheville, was November 17th and 18th. And anyway, what I asked today, what I wrote in 2021, is it happening now? And they said yes. Who knows now, or if it's now, but I got a sense it was now. Let's see, you will have others helping you, basically. I see beautiful gems, a bifurcation of people. I see the light side pulling me their way, even as I know I will have to say goodbye to some people. Okay, so what I saw was like this bifurcation of people. People would decide. They would decide if they were going to go and continue on the paradigm that we're living on, which is basically enslavement. We're enslaved to others, taking away our innate DNA activation, light code power that's imbued by the divine, and we're disconnected from the divine only because we've allowed ourselves to be enslaved. And so that karmic enslavement path can continue if we so choose to go that way, or we can go towards freedom and sovereignty. And that bifurcation is going to happen soon. It's already happening. It's been happening, but I think it's going to be more pronounced very soon. And I felt this poignancy in the record about leaving behind loved ones who I don't want to leave behind. But I was pulled basically towards the light, and I willingly went. on some kind of unconscious level because that's the way I ended up going. I'm weary at first, and then I see myself in a velvet skirt that's blue and a headdress, almost like a tiara on my head. The skirt is blue, it's fashionable, and I have these tights on. It was like kind of a cool outfit. I saw this picture from the past where, okay, so had like a flashback. I taught yoga years ago at a place in Philadelphia. And I was talking to the owner, and he said, I see your future. He was pretty prophetic himself. He said, I see your future being surrounded by a bunch of women. And I got a flash of, I don't know if I had a dream after that, or I got this flash of that being so, that I would be kind of, I don't want to use the word leading because I don't want to lead a group. I want it to be, everyone brings their gifts together in this horizontal, beautiful, like, synastry of femininity. And I don't think the group has to be just women, but it does have to be led by the feminine. It has to be led by the feminine mindset, or the yin way of doing things. But anyway, this was a flashback to that time when I did get that image. I see a crab, like a Cancer, it's the sign of Cancer, July birthdays, late June, July, kind of walking in the visual. What did I do in the past? I asked. So often in the Akashic records, what people get is past lives. And I definitely have gotten a sense over time that, and it wasn't through the Akashic records, that I had been in Germany during Nazi Germany. And I definitely was sympathetic to people of, Jewish descent. But I don't think I was Jewish. I might have been, but I think I might have been like, maybe I was Jewish and helping as a Jewish nurse or something, but I don't think I suffered the way people did. I felt like I was more like a sympathizer. Maybe I was like hiding people who were Jewish. I'm not sure. So that was the only past life um scene that I've ever gotten, and that came up in a shamanic journey that was not with ayahuasca or drugs. It was just a shamanic journey. And today, even after going into the Akashic records for the last 2 years, I've never really gotten a clear sense of who am I? Like, where did I come from? And one other thing, I had a galactic reading with a woman who actually is a walk-in. You want to see the video about the walk-in, I'll leave it in the show notes. Her name is Louise, cool lady. But anyway, she did a galactic reading with me when we were together in the program. She was a little bit ahead of me, and what she said was, I came from the way beginning. Like, my soul started as an early fleck of the earth, which is interesting because my granddaughter calls me Gaia, which means earth. So that was the only other past life that I was aware of. And I've heard about Atlantean lives and Lemurian lives. I've never gotten a sense that I directly was in it, like in Atlantis or Lemuria, like engaged in that, even though I would love to have been in Lemuria, or in some ways Atlantis. I don't necessarily, or haven't gotten the sense that I directly was. So anyway, today I got a little information. I was told you were hunted. I see a sword fight and losing the battle in the past. So it was like the tarot card, Five of Sword, like someone's a loser in a situation, like a struggle and a loss. So I feel like it was a flashback to kind of a liberation of the divine feminine that eluded me in the past, that this was something that I really tried to free up, balance out in the past, as so many of us probably have. And it eluded me. So I don't know if I was like a witch, and like a witch hunt comes to mind. I definitely have some qualities where I could have been seen as a witch in a previous life, like herbalism and midwifery as a nurse, things like that come up. So I got this archetypical sense of the Five of Swords. And then I was told a new day will come when none of this matters. I see this ring of water, and then I see these creatures that live in the water, like dolphins and fish and whales, but it was almost like it was a contained water system, but it wasn't like a pool. It was like they were free and happy, but it was like this ring of containment for these animals. And I got a sense it flashed back to Lemuria. If you're not familiar with Lemuria, I will put something in the notes on Lemuria. But I'm guessing a few of you are definitely aware of what Lemuria is. I asked if I had been there, and I did not get a clear answer, but I got more of a hint than not that I wasn't there. And then I was told I have control, more or less. And then I see these train cars. So recently I read a book about Auschwitz, which was, it wasn't just about Auschwitz, it was about the Holocaust. And it was deeply, as all the books are, deeply, deeply disturbing. It was a true story. It actually had a happy ending for for the couple who were in the story. They, yeah, so they both had their own journeys in the story. The book's been written by their son with their help, but a lot of the time they were shuffled from one concentration camp to the next when they ended up having to go to the concentration camps. So that I got a sense like the train reminded me of the book, but then I was told that it was a cargo train with goods on it. So the divine often speaks in metaphors, and each word often has like a dual meaning. So goods with goods, like good and goods. And then I got the sense of the trains, like you could get on either train. Like you can get on the train to heaven, or you can get on the train to hell, which is the creation of where do you want to go? Like what you have the free will, you can create your own misery, and you can continue under the enslavement path, or you can continue towards enlightenment or nirvana or heaven or whatever word you want to use. Inner nirvana that matches the outer nirvana there's a way I see it. I picture what I would like to see. So the divine is saying, create. What do you want to create? So I pictured what I wanted to see, a cooperative community that's egalitarian and peaceful. Like that was my goal. I want to create an egalitarian, peaceful community where nobody is in charge, nobody's better, nobody's worse. Everybody has their unique gifts that they're bringing. It's not like monetarily rewarding for one and not another, that it's more like a barter system where everybody wins. Not that you don't always win with the system that we have now, because it is a system, I believe, of exchange when you pay for goods. But it was less hierarchical. It was more egalitarian. I ask, will systems collapse soon? And I'm told yes. I feel like I can stay in Asheville. It's my worry since the hurricane. Everyone will choose to step on the train or not. The train feels like opting for the future. Which train? The train to hell or heaven? Make your mark in the world, they tell me. The time has arrived. The time has arrived. There will be others you won't they're telling me you won't be alone. There'll be others. People will come. I love this. And it's kind of just, I think this is beautiful. It's gonna get me crying. Of course, I'm getting a phone call. Isn't that funny? Maybe God's calling. God's calling. You won't be alone. Okay. You won't be alone. People will come out of the woodwork. Joining hands. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. Birds flying high, that Michael Bublé song that comes up over and over. Birds flying high, you know how they feel. I don't know. You guys know the song probably better than I do. So maybe when we put together this group, this council group, somebody will have a good voice, or somebody will have a brave voice and they'll sing it for us, or we can all sing it together. Jesus asked me to consort with him, to be his helper. And then the ring, put a ring on it. You know, that song, Put a Ring on It, came up. The bride for the future visions. What is possible? Build it with others. I have your back, he tells me. Don't be afraid. Don't tarry, but don't hurry. So don't rush, but don't stall. Keep going. And then this was really powerful. Build it one brick at a time, and it will be solid. Everything is possible with love. Everything is possible with God's love. Love that resides deeply in the heart is God's love. Love that resides deeply in the heart of humanity. I am taken back to the heaven, and it's like Ash Wednesday. It's kind of like, I don't know if any Catholics out there or if any other religions put ashes on the forehead. So ashes to ashes. And then Ash Wednesday, as Catholics, they put the ashes of like Jesus on the forehead. God places them on my forehead. The Last Supper it has happened. Now it's Ash Wednesday. I see the progression. So that's the Akashic weather report for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any thoughts on all of this, let me know. I'm building this one brick at a time. And don't forget the selenite. If you watched yesterday's video, that's imbued in everyone's heart that watched that video. That was a transmission from God through me to you. But that also can be recharged at any time, bringing selenite into the heart space where we can birth this new world through love and through the heart. Thanks for listening and watching. Have a good day. I will try to do another video tomorrow.